Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, a great millstone, and honors and salutations to all you Akim out there that's laboring in the truth and sincerity. And this is another lesson or show, which I'm, as you see here in the title or in the articles where I got the title, Tip of the Iceberg. All right. And as you see it reads, it says China's Batwoman researcher warns coronavirus is just the tip of the iceberg, which this bitch is, she's wicked. And of course, she's a Moabite. And remember that's why the scriptures tell you about these other nations. They don't have the law, so they're beasts. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand. They don't have no comprehension. The Lord is not dealing with them. The Most High made them, as nothing. Like it tells you in Isaiah the 40th chapter, right? He counted them as the small. Matter of fact, Shalak, let me just get it just so I can quote. I'm getting caught up into my words. This is the bat scripture. Let's see. Let's get to the. Where is that at? Isaiah. Bear with me. Isaiah Isaiah chapter 40, right? Isaiah chapter 40, let me go straight to the point. Isaiah 40 and 15. It says, Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. So they're not really that important, so you shouldn't expect no righteousness from these heathens, man. These heathens are dealing on a low frequency, really. Even though they try to, seem so astute, like you got these Elamites, these East Indians. I mean, at one time they were in they had their chance to shine. They had their rulerships under the Syrian and Babylonian empires, and Moab had their chance. But they're really nothing. They're not in the whole scheme of things. It boils down to Jacob and Esau. That's who you got to really know what's going on with. You understand? With Jacob and Esau. Because this is what the Lord said. He said the nations, and this is speaking about all the other nations, are as a drop of a bucket and are counted as the small dust of the balance. And so how would the Lord, if he's saying that they're so insignificant, what would make you think that the Lord would ever consider of bringing salvation to him? You understand? He just created them just to serve a small minute part. All right. Now, when you're dealing with Jacob and Esau, as we always say, that's the meat and potatoes of this thing. That's what the main prophecies in the Bible revolve around Jacob and Esau. Jacob is us. Esau is who the world calls the so-called white man today. So, and then matter of fact, just jumping down 17, all nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing in vanity. You see? Then so you'd be like, well, why did he make them then if they're vanity, if they're not nothing, if they're not important? First of all, according to his purpose, for his will. Okay, the Most High could make whatever he want to make. You know what I'm saying? It's like telling a potter, well, why do you make an ashtray and you don't even smoke? Because he wanted to fucking make it. He felt like making it. And when he's ready to dash it and break it, right? He could do that and you ain't nothing you can say about it. So that's how the Most High feels about these other nations. So this chick right here, the Batwoman, all right? The reason why I went into this article, because pretty much the Batwoman, even though she's a Moabite, but what she's saying, she says China's Batwoman researcher warns coronavirus is just the tip of the iceberg. Now we've been saying that, like this ain't, we told you that this ain't the end of all ends. This is just, if you will, a Trojan horse for the mark of the beast. A Trojan horse for what they're deeming the new norm. All right, which we've been telling you for ages that they've been, from the apostles, the head apostles, the elders, the brothers of GMS, and then even other Israelites or other people been out there speaking about how evil this government is and how they've been concocting this whole elaborate scheme so they could bring about their new world order. This has been spoken about for a long, long time. All right, for a long, long time, and now it's just coming to play. And so people bugged out over this coronavirus. You got people still straight up tripping, because there's a lot of people that died, but allegedly, I'm gonna say alleged, because at the end of the day, with all these coronavirus deaths, and you got conflicting reports. You got some people, nurses or doctors that say, I was there, I seen people die or whatever. But most of them are on a real low level anyway. They still trusting in the government. They still thinking that, the Arabs flew airplanes into the World Trade Center. They still haven't woken up on no kind of level whatsoever. They still believe that Mickey Mouse is an actual human being, these type of people. Then you got the actual nurses that ain't afraid to speak on what's happening. Because why? Because, you got a lot of these people that's why they get into the medical field, because they're very compassionate people. They're humanitarian type people. They love animals. They love, they're the type, if they seen somebody fall in the street, they'll go administer CPR or whatever they had to do. And they're seeing these things, and they're seeing these people, basically they're seeing that they're giving orders to kill these people, hooking them up on the ventilators and everything. They're seeing that the way that they're treating them is inhumane. So that's why you got the conflicting reports, and you got the people that's speaking out about what's really going on. All right. And how they're treating and how they're not treating. You got people that's speaking out about how they're being told and forced to write on the death certificate, death by coronavirus or COVID-19, and how the hospitals get paid a whole hell of a lot more money. They're getting paid off to say that people died from the coronavirus. And again, you're not in, you're like, well, I got loved ones that died, but you ain't there. You ain't see no proof or no autopsy. All you might have known, they went to the hospital with a cold or whatever, not to mention all the other underlying issues they had that they probably could have died from, or straight up that they went to the hospital and they got killed there. They killed them in the hospital. The hospital is the worst place to be in, man. I mean, if you got to go, you got to go. But, you know what I'm saying, that you try your best to avoid that motherfucker because, Esau's there like Dr. Frankenstein. You could do better treating yourself through Google. Google. You know what I'm saying? In most certain situations. I mean, sometimes if it's an emergency, it's dire, then yeah, of course, you got to send up a prayer and pray to the Most High to be with you in there. But anyway, so people are still hurt and affected. Now they got all kind of, what do you call that shit? Benefit concerts and We Are the World type thing. People gathering together. A lot of different so-called nonprofit organizations trying to help those in the troubling times, the coronavirus victims. They got all these people that are so hurt and devastated. You can't walk in the store without a goddamn mask on. If you walk in, you could be in your own house, and if your neighbors see you without a mask, they're looking at you suspect. But like we said, that this is just the beginning. All right? This is just the beginning. It's going to get ugly out here. We've been bringing out the prophecies in the scriptures, right? In Ezra, second Ezra, the 16th chapter, 15th chapter, 16th chapter. If I get a chance, I'll go into that, right? So these things are happening, and people are bugging out, and it's going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. We've been telling, and it's, like I said, Batwoman, that's what they call her. I'm going to read some of this article, but she's going off too, all right? That's why I got the scriptures on the bat scriptures. You gotta deal with these bat scriptures, man, because these these Moabites, man, they fucking bugged out, man. They'll try to eat any and everything. That's the Batwoman right there, man. She looked like a damn demon, man. Looked like a zombie. She don't even look like she's alive. She's like a evil robot, But this is supposed to be the chick that got the lab that they're saying where the first where the coronavirus was created at, and which is totally off. All right, so I'm gonna read the thing. It says China's Batwoman researcher warns that, which matter of fact, before I go on reading that, let me get the law, just so you know that this shit is off, because the Mossad set up dietary laws that we were supposed to follow, and they're sitting there wondering why these things are happening, but you sitting up there eating these animals. Hey, the brother showed me a picture. I think it was who was it? Elder Abad. Was it? I think it was Elder Abad. No, it was Elder Sakaran. Showed me a picture which somebody had ordered a box of chicken from Popeyes, and it was basically it was a fucking squirrel that they just put in the fucking deep fryer. He was breaded up and fried, and it had a dude holding the fucking thing. It was a fucking squirrel, all right, mixed in the fried chicken, showing you that these motherfuckers, man. Well, I wasn't Moab, but probably was a Moabite behind the shit. I don't know. I ain't see where they got it from, but nonetheless, these people, to them, that's nothing. Like in China, and that's why they had to keep banning. And they're still eating all kind of bats and snakes and all kind of rodents, marmots, and they eating all kind of. Moab will eat fucking anything. These heathens, and that's why the Mosai said that they're heathens. They're just that. They don't have no common sense amongst them of things to eat. And now remember, matter of fact, this is what made us different. Because a lot of people talk about we're all being the same. No, we're not all the same. We never was all the same. The Most High created us and made us to be different, man. All right? This is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. It says, "Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my power commanded me that you should do so in the land whither you go to possess it." So see, that's that order. The Lord said he taught us laws, statutes, and commandments, meaning orders that you're supposed to follow, rules you're supposed to follow. See, these heathens, they don't, with all this, they're into all this Buddhism, or Buddhist and Hinduism, which is really all they religions and everything is wicked, evil, and it's off, and it's demonic, and there's no truth to none of that. All right, and that's why the Most High, this freedom of religion shit is bullshit. There's only one heavenly Father, one power, only one Creator. All right, and it's not no goddamn Buddha. And this is the divine laws from the Creator that He gave us of what to do and what not to do. You got people tripping over where did it start from? What's this? What's that? Right? Verse 6. "Keep therefore and do them." The Lord said, and that's the problem what happened with our people. We didn't keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. We didn't keep doing them. He said, "For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations." It didn't say nothing about no goddamn comedic bullshit, man. The Lord said these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what it boiled down to, man. You see? Ecclesiastes. What's it tell you in Ecclesiastes? And this is why people are having, a hard time, in general, because they, this whole chapter, remember now that I created, which obviously a lot of our people forgot the Creator. But now this is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. It said, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man." You see? So that's what it all boils down to, is fearing the Most High. And the reason is healthy, and it's a good thing to fear the Heavenly Father, because if you fear the Heavenly Father, you won't get no goddamn coronavirus, man. You won't be getting no COVID-19, worrying about dropping dead from that. And even if you were to say if you did catch the COVID-19, you got faith for how to get herbs and deal with it. And if your situations become terminal, you understand that, I'm going back to the Most High anyway. As when you go to the 7th verse, when you read in the 7th verse, it said, "Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return into the Most High who gave it." Just like Job. Job, he said, look, and Job knew about reincarnation. All right, he said, "Though the worms eat this body," he said, in my flesh, "I shall see my maker again." All right, Job said that. So once you fear the Most High, what the hell is a coronavirus, or what the hell is any other virus? And there's tons of other viruses that been out there that, and a lot of them get to that because they fuck with them. And furthermore, they're doing shit they shouldn't be doing, such as eating all kind of abominations. You got this lady, they call her the Bat Lady. And then I'm going to read on in the article, it's going to tell you why they call her the Bat Lady, because that's what this bitch does. She's obsessed with bats. She got a goddamn bat demon on her, man. So the Lord told us this is what we were supposed to do. This is our wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. You see? Because why? These other nations, they don't understand and that's why we're going to be ruling over the nations. And it tells you that we're going to rule over them with a rod of iron. It ain't gonna be no freedom of speech, freedom of religion, do as thou wilt. It ain't gonna be like here, nah. And they tell you that, like, look, any of these heathens decided they want to start going back to eating some bats, well, they're gonna be put to death for breaking the laws in the kingdom anyway. And if they decide they don't want to observe it, then they're gonna be basically they're gonna be no rain. They're gonna be starved out. You know, they're gonna catch out. In other words, they tell you that in Zechariah, right? But it says, in the sight of the nations which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. And guess what that's talking about? Because right now, a lot of people, they look at them fucking rats. Oh my God, they went through so much. Those people, they're so, you got, and especially these old West Indian women. God bless Israel. Talking about these devils and stuff, you know, looking up to these so-called Jews. A lot of them work in their houses and all that stuff. And they got that, you know, that nanny syndrome on them, the Aunt Jemima spirit or whatever. You understand? When not realizing that they stole your whole heritage, man. They're imposters. They impersonating you. You're the blessed people of the Lord. All right? And they're supposed to, that's how the nations looked at us, because why? The Most High ain't deal with them. He didn't give them, man, it goes back to the basics, man. I mean, you know, again, as all these shows, hey, the spirit, you might have a premise of what, you know, the spirit wants you to go into, but a lot of times the spirit have it go in different directions. You know what I'm saying? So, pardon me. Bring out this Psalms. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, Salakia. Actually, here we go. Psalms 147. It's Psalms 147. It says, verse 19, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. All right, the statutes and the judgment. This is what we're reading in Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter. This have been showed to who? To Israel. It says, he have not dealt so with any nation. You see, the Most High didn't. So this is what separated us. And that's why he said, this is your wisdom and understanding that you should keep when you go before these other nations. All right, the Most High gave it. And one of the big things is the dietary laws, man. All right, of what to eat and what not to eat. Because these other nations, they don't have that in them. They will eat anything. All right, they will eat anything. All right, so anyway, reading on again, it says, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgment, they have not known them. So they have not known them because the Most High didn't deal with them like he dealt with us. That's why they, you know, they're eating bats and snakes and monkeys and all this other abominations, man. All right, so now, Salaki, get back to the Deuteronomy. It says, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this is a great nation. Surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, who hath the Most High so nigh unto them, as the Lord our power is in all things that we call upon him for? You see? So they when they see that, they're supposed to see the most. When they see us, they're supposed to see the Most High. It says, and what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? You see? So righteous, meaning everything that the Lord told us to do that's found within the law or things of righteousness, man. That's gonna help us help our days be longer upon the earth. It wasn't like it's a bad thing. And one of the main things, again, I'm gonna go to it real quick, was the dietary law, which, you know, you should read the dietary laws too. Leviticus, the 11th chapter, This whole thing goes into what you can and what you cannot eat, right? But I don't wanna for the interest of time, I just want to get to the main main part that I'm dealing with. It says, "In these are they which you shall have an abomination among the fowls." Fowls meaning what? The birds that fly. All right. So the Most High is breaking it down what type of dealing with the birds. And again, these other nations, they don't got it. That's why you see these heathens eating certain things, snake, spiders. They eat all kind of crazy shit, man. Right? It says, "And these are they which you shall have an abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten." The Most High said that clearly. And this is what happened. People want to omit with the Bible or the Bible, whatever. You still got people even in the churches that claim that they're in the Bible. They're still eating. They might as well be eating bats. These people in the churches, they eating fucking chitlins, ham hocks, eating all kind of pork, right? Which you read up above it tell you not to eat swine, right? But people still eating that. They eating all kind of lobster and shrimp, seafood. You know, you go to certain place, West Indian restaurants. You look at the soups and the dishes and the pasta dishes. You can't really fuck with it because they got shrimp up in it, buried up in it. You know, they got lobster claws hanging out of it and all that shit. You like, what the hell? They got fucking water roaches baked into the shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't eat that shit. You know, that's an abomination. That's an abomination. Same thing like these different birds. And the Lord said, "They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination." The eagle. And our people went off with that. The Native American Indians. And, you know, they was eating a lot of this shit too. And that's why the Lord brought judgment. The osprey, right? Which I got to look it up. But I believe that's referring to certain type of owls, right? I got to look that up again. In the vulture, the kite after his kind, every raven after his kind, in the owl, in the night hawk, in the cacao, in the hawk after his kind, any type of hawk. Ain't no hawk, you ain't supposed to eat it. All right? In the little owl, in the cormorant, in the great, whatever type of owl you got, those owls that be on the parkway at night making their noise, you ain't supposed to eat them. In the swan, in the pelican, you know, you got some people, they say, "Oh, the pelican, oh, the swan's a beautiful bird." You know, they'll figure when shit hit the fan, definitely all bets is off, right? Niggas will eat anything. They catch them a duck. You ain't supposed to eat that shit, man. In the gear eagle, in the stork, the heron, and why? And really, you look at people that eat, you like, man, you got to have a certain level of demons on you to even think to eat these things, man. You know, even think to eat a monkey, a gorilla, to eat a bat. You know how demonic a fucking bat is, man. When you see a bat, the first thing you want to do is kill it, just like a roach. All right, but they have their purpose, and their purpose is not for you to eat. It says, in the stork, in the heron after her kind, in the lapwing, in the bat. You see? In the bat. The Most High said you're not supposed to eat these things, man. You're not. So that's the laws, and the reason now over here in this article, the bat woman, she's trying to figure out how come, basically, which Esau, this is Esau, you know, because these Moabites, too, don't get it twisted. Everything, they laboratories and everything is set up just like the so-called white man here in America. This is not ancient Chinese tradition, okay? Although they are heathens, of course they grow up, they eat rattlesnakes and everything. If you ever talk to people from there, you know, I went to school with a few, you know, them motherfuckers, and they used to say that shit. And, you know, we used to fuck with them and shit, like, you know. But nonetheless, Esau does the same thing. Esau does the same exact thing. Boy, truly we wrestle against principalities and spiritual high places. You know, Salakia, man. That was just, you know, Satan trying to throw off the vibe. You know, but it says Slack, I lost where I was at. It says China's Batwoman researcher warns that the deadly coronavirus surfacing now is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of what humans may soon face without a global effort to prevent similar infectious outbreaks. But now, she is right though, and that's why I chose to use that as the title, the tip of the iceberg. You know, because that's not. I mean, yeah, and I'm not saying. I'm sure people were affected. People died or whatever, but people died from all kind of different things, as we constantly keep saying. People die from different diseases, different flus, different, whatever. It's clear that they're doing the most with this COVID-19. Look at all the legislation. Look at how the world stood still. They stopped the world. They shut things down. Everything is now being straight up, just like out of a movie script. Demolition Man, all these different movies. I Am Legend. Everything is just playing out like a script. Elysium, all these different movies of them having a new world order. All these new world order type of movies are basically playing themselves out. And even like we were saying, even the Asher, they with the movie of them infiltrating the Israelites, they got real life people. They got people doing that in real time. So they ain't need no fucking movie about that because they got the different implants or whatever the case is. But what they don't realize is that the Most High is allowing this devil to do this, man, because the Lord said what? In Proverbs 16, matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Quote it the right way. Right, Proverbs 16:4. The Lord hath made all things for himself. Yea, even the wicked, even the devil, even the wicked for the day of evil. So it tells you clearly the Most High made everything for itself, even the wicked, which is the so-called white man, for the day of evil. So that's why the Most High is allowing them to do this and prosper with their, draconian measures, with their new world order. The Lord is allowing them to prosper and killing a lot of people because why? It's His will. That's what He was created for. He was created for this day. This is judgment, man. It's the last go round. So it says, if we want to prevent humans beings from suffering from the next infectious disease outbreak, we must go in advance to learn of these unknown viruses carried by wild animals in nature and give early warnings. So here it is, these wild animals in nature, they're in their natural habitat, but you want to go and interrupt them. And the problem is, and that's why I have read the dietary laws as we've seen just pertaining to just a bat in particular and other flying birds. And it's more, it tells Leviticus 11th chapter, I think even Deuteronomy 18th chapter, a few other, they break down what you're supposed to eat and not eat. And it's not just pork. It goes, they ain't supposed to eat no goddamn bat and birds and shit out there like that. Within and bottom line, don't get cute. Well, chicken's a dirty bird. No, you don't. First of all, you have no understanding of a clean and unclean animals. Okay, the Most High, the whole makeup of a bat is made. It's not clean. It's not a clean animal. It's whole structure, the way the Most High made it. All right, the Lord made that for a different purpose. All right, the chicken, of course, the whole earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof because of the so-called white man with all his drugs and everything that he does. But chickens don't naturally eat the shit that they be feeding them and the steroids. The same can be said about the cows and stuff. That's because the white man's the devil. All right, but the Most High gave us clean. If the Lord said it is clean, then it's clean. All right, that's why I said the Lord's ways are righteous. But you got these idiots that think that they're gonna outsmart the Most High. They think the Most High forgot. Oh yeah, I should have put the chickens on that list too. No, you fucking idiot. There's nothing wrong with eating chickens and turkey. And you know how many ways you can prepare chicken, turkey? Quail if you want. You see what I'm saying? But again, Jake followed these Edomites, and then now they're trying to. And what you trying to say? You want to find a way that you can eat a bat without getting the coronavirus? Is that what you're researching? It says if we don't study these viruses, it will possibly be another outbreak. But they already said it's going. They already gave a release, man. They said coming soon. I guess before winter or right the beginning of the winter. They were saying. I think they said October if I remember the right day. You know what I'm saying? So they already put a release date on the next wave. All right. And the thing is that they're trying to figure out how to, how to get it. It's an unclean animal. Their body, right? That's why I had the scripture too. Hold on, man. I'm gonna get this real quick, and then I'm gonna end it here. If the spirit get on me to come back to it, but 1 Corinthians 4:15. And see, and Esau is a damn devil because Esau, like, he does these experiments. He try to splice and clone things and make crossbreed animals and shit, crossbreed tigers, lions. Esau does all that fuckery, man. That's why the Lord is about to take him out of power, man. Esau's going down, man. I don't give a damn how many quarantines they put out there, how many laws they make based off of lifting the quarantines and whatever. They're not going to stop Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is on his way back, man. The chariots are there. The chariots are coming with him, which are the holy angels, and they're going to fuck up the United States Army, man. I just got to say that. All right? Now, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 39. Straight to the point. It says, all flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. So what are you talking about, man? And that dispels the thing, because reincarnation is in the scriptures, and you got people that say they believe in reincarnation, but they think you come back as a damn cow, a butterfly, a beetle. No, you fucking idiot. All flesh is not the same flesh. If you were born a man, if you have the spirit of a man, you're gonna always be a man through whatever nation you're a part of. You're gonna come back through that lineage. Because remember, the Lord is not the author of confusion. He did everything He did things decently and in order. So everything has an order. The plants have their order. The animals have their order. All right. And as men and women, we have our order that we're supposed to follow. The problem is everybody's out of order, and then they're trying to figure out why things are happening, but they're not really trying to do the right thing. Even all these people that's been locked up and quarantined and, trying to call themselves be more conscious or whatever, they're really not still doing the right thing. And they're going to go back to doing more and more wickedness and then wonder why the Most High is allowing things to happen, why more people are going to die, more of your loved ones are going to die, because they're not going to change from their ways. They're not going to change from that pride. And that's why the Lord said that 2/3 of our own people, fuck all those other nations, because they're not going to make it anyway. And when they do come back or whatever, it's just for slavery. And the elites that make it are going straight into slavery. They're the first wave that's going to go into slavery. But 2/3 of our people, they're going to die because they're not going to get out of their wickedness, man. They're not going to stop being wicked, regardless of what happens. But anyway, I'm going to end it right there. I know it kind of went a few different places, but through the Spirit, hopefully, you brothers and the sisters were edified. And again, give all glory and honor and praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And I say shalom.